So this is the first time we've done a podcast in the car. It's been something that I wanted to do for ages because I spent so many long journeys with brilliantly talented, amazing human beings. And we're here on the first day of the Mista Trick Collective Spring Tour with a legend in the building. Well, he's not in the building.
He's in the building. I'm in the driving seat. In the hot seat, man.
For the people that don't know, Trafic MC is a MC, also now ahead of fronting his own band, trio blues band, and we've made a couple of tracks together.
Yeah.
And he's an incredible host and MC on lots of work with loads of drum and bass, big drum and bass DJs in the game. I don't know his accolades too much, but I'm just going to say the ones that I've heard of.
Go on then.
Like
Go on.
Played in New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think most of the major UK festivals, and probably he can tell us a bit more. But ladies and gentlemen, Trafic MC.
Yeah, this is where we insert. I promise I won't take my hands off the wheel that much.
Yeah. Safety first.
Yeah, safety first, man. Well, I don't know.
So where were your accolades? I think it's
okay. Accolades then. I obviously, the New Zealand Australia tour of Crossy, that was amazing. We did 21 planes in 42 days. That was it was mental.
What 21
planes. So it was 21 plane journeys. So like we had 3 plane journeys to get over there, and then we were in Auckland. We come off the plane, went and played a gig, then jumped on another plane, went and played in Wellington. Then we had a few days off, then we jumped on another plane, went to Christchurch. It was just constant. And then week before Christmas, we were in Queenstown for a little bit. Then we went over to Australia. So we landed in Melbourne, played there, stayed there. Next day, flew to Brisbane, landed there, stayed there, played there. Then we flew to Perth, stayed there for 2 days, played there, and then Christmas Eve flew back to New Zealand and did Rolling Meadows New Year's Eve over in New Zealand. It was madness. It was pure rock and roll. One of the times we played a gig in Christchurch, 6 till 7, and then we had to play in Hamilton, which is that night. So then we finished at 6. We finished at 7 in Christchurch. Our plane was 10 to 8. The airport was half an hour away. We walked onto the plane. I'm there stressing. Crossy's like, butter wouldn't melt. He's just so chill about it all, because I'm there like, dude, we're going to be late. He's like, mate, be fine. He's just sort of like sauntering through. We walked onto the plane and they shut the doors. We hadn't even got on our seats. It was mental. And that's when I was like, I've got to relax. I've just got to relax. It will happen. If it doesn't happen, it won't happen.
I think that's interesting, because I do think there's a sense of urgency British people have with travel.
Oh, massively. And since doing it, because I used to not really like flying. It was like the takeoff and the landing were the bits where I'd be like clinging on. And after the 5th plane journey, I was like, right.
Jet lag, baby. I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, I've got all of these journeys to do. Right, what's stressing me out? The plane journey and me. I can't change the planes. I have to change me. And in that moment, I just relaxed. And the amount of times like, and that changed me, man. That genuinely changed a lot of the way I travel, a lot of the way I handle gigs now. That in that one moment, I went, oh yeah, what can I control? It's like I can control how I deal with it, and that was basically the big part of it. It got to a point where like we'd have hostesses coming up to us being like, everybody's left the plane now, and we're like, oh, I just want to finish this episode, because we were so, because the thing now, I look at people when they're like, the seatbelts sign goes off, and then they all stand up, and you're like, the doors haven't opened, just chill, like
you're not going
anywhere. And it was just so, in that moment, and then I realized how busy everybody is. I just started floating. A lot of the time, I was like, I just sort of like meandering through everybody, and I realised how busy everybody is. Like, I did it the other week in November or October, just gone. I played a gig at 338, Studio 338 on like 1 in the morning, and my plane was at Heathrow at 10 in the morning. So I don't have enough time. No, 9 in the morning. I don't have enough time to go back to Bristol and then go to Heathrow. So I was like, oh well. Finished the gig, stuck at Studio 338. Heathrow's like 45 minutes away. So I got to Heathrow, park up, jump on the park and ride, get in there. It's 5 in the morning, I've got 4 hours to wait. I'm like, right, breakfast. That's the only thing that scuppers you on long travels and like not lack of sleep. If you have big food,
Oh yeah.
That makes you sleepy, man. Like that's the thing I've noticed. A mate of mine gave me advice ages ago. Is like, if you ever lack of sleep, outweigh it with food. I don't think that's a good idea. Small and often. Little and often. I had a big breakfast. I was feeling really energized. Had this big breakfast and went jump.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. So I went and found myself a nice cozy spot. Got my book out. And I was like, just focus on the book.
You didn't fall asleep, did you?
I nodded off for about 20 minutes, yeah. Just on a seat, just like, what?
Mate.
Got a pair of trackies out and just used it as a pillow. But it's like, you know, that New Zealand tour taught me a lot. I think, what other accolades have I got?
The hospitality, not hospitality, Liquidity with
Vibe Chemistry, that was amazing.
You're going back?
Fingers crossed, gonna wait and hopefully I'll get another one. But Vibe Chemistry's put me on a lot. Crossy's obviously put me on a hell of a lot. Born on Road have just, that was the turning point when Born on Road shouted me, because I hosted Born on Road for a long time before they had Cara, because they went for a few MCs. They had like Navigator for a while, they had little J-Man, then they had me for their UK tour for about 8-9 months. I was there MC, and that's what really put me on the map. You know, Hidden Woods with Crossy last year at Boomtown was unbelievable.
Somebody actually told me about that set, completely unrelated, and was like, yeah, that was an absolutely amazing set.
It was unbelievable. And the way I dealt with that as well, like about 20 minutes into the set, somebody dropped about five rows from the front. Somebody just, because there was some dodgy batch of something going round.
Oh no.
And I just stopped everything.
Oh really?
Yeah, I stopped everything. I was just like, Crossy cut. I was like medical down here, and then I had somebody start booing, and I just turned around and I just went, I remember my first beer, and and then I was like, look, at the end of the day, if we can't all look after one brethren, like, what are we here for? And then everybody started cheering.
Loyal kind of did exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
In front of
thousands.
Like
we had a good 12, 13,000 people.
Yeah.
One person dropped, and I was like, no, if we're either going to do it right, or we're not going to do it at all. I just don't, you know, if one little guy can't, I was like, right, where's his mates? And his mates kicked in, because they were all in a bit of shock, but they were only, you know, they're only youngins. But it was the fact that I was in that mode, and like a lot of people come up to me, and they were just like, you handled that really well. I mean, Chad will tell you.
Yeah.
Chad was in the crowd.
Was it?
Yeah. Chad was in the crowd. He was like, the way you dealt with that, man. I was just like, yeah, man, because. And it's also where I was at in myself, because I was able to do that because I was clean, you know, I was clean and sober, and being able to handle that. Like, it would have been a bit different if I'd had a couple of drinks in me. I would have probably been a bit like wayward about it, been like, oh, how do I deal with this? I was like, no, safety first, you know, because and that's the point of the rave. The whole point is the unity side of things. And if we can't look, he could have got trampled. Like there was half the festival were trying to get in at that point because everything else was shut. So it's 30,000 people trying to get in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's because it was me and Crossy playing, it was because it was the time.
Well,
it was
half
and half.
And I think Boomtown would have definitely appreciated that. And then the fact that you are in that brilliant position where you can see everything, and security can't really, because they're not on that high. But they try, and that's where you see them standing on the barrier looking over. Because they're somebody's
People's safety is definitely paramount, man. Like,
there's been, I mean, Boomtown especially, I've witnessed at least 2 deaths there. I saw the one where it was like, I think the Wednesday or Thursday of Boomtown, where I haven't really quite opened yet, and there was a girl who was working part of Oxfam. I think she took something and her throat closed up, and then they couldn't get the medical to her quick enough. And I was walking up, and I saw a group of people crowding around somebody, and then suddenly out of nowhere, there's like ambulance jeep thing.
Speaking of that,
straight at us, and we have to dive out of the way.
Wow! Speaking of that, 2 seconds. Let me just get out of the way of this ambulance.
Oh yeah!
As if by magic.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Going first.
Yeah. And the other one was in the crew area. I just went I went to the toilet, and there was like 10, 15 police officers, or like something higher than that, like police inspectors or something, all just standing around there calling off the area. And I was like, what's going on? And they were like, oh, health risk or something. And
that's such a shame, isn't it?
A woman in her 30s or 40s hung herself on a bad trip in one of the toilets that was about to go in.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's savage. See, that's the dark side of it, man.
Yeah,
it's such a shame.
Yeah, so what you did obviously is really important.
Yeah, massive.
I mean, Yeah. So Boomtown, obviously, How many Boomtowns have you
Have I done?
been or done?
7.
Nice.
7 or 8. The first year I went was 2013 and I didn't play. I was very early on in the career and I went for the smash and it was great fun. I was like, hold on, what am I now? 34. So I was 21. See what I mean? And I went for it, and it was it was amazing. Do you know what I mean? With all of my people, and like it's magical when you first go.
Oh,
and you're like, what's going on? And and then the next time I then went was 2015. I ended up playing on Little Farmer, doing a hip hop set with Twitchy.
Oh yeah,
which was
big
awesome.
up Little Farmer crew, which is not happening anymore.
Is it not?
No. It's done, mate. It's done. It would have been 10 years since it started next year, but it hadn't been 10 obviously because of COVID. But yeah, that is me and Marcus started that.
Oh wow! So yeah, they put me on my first bookings of
nice
of Boomtown
when we had zero budget.
Yeah. I was just happy to be there. It was just, you know what I mean, I'm still happy to be there. It's just like it was really nice to be able to say you're playing at Boomtown. It's such a nice accolade to achieve, even if it was, you know. But like, you know, a bunch of mates turned up and we played a load of hip hop and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think what else. And then Robotica stage with Y Dot and Daisy. That was a big one. That was a really, really cool one when they had the big. Oh my god! I've got the best story for that one. Yeah. So, and nobody will believe me. And it's
is this the robot decks? So
like the decks are at the top, and you've got all the shipping containers around the outside. So it used to be there. It used to be where wrong side of the tracks is now.
Yes.
But it used to be, instead of like, you know, wrong side of the tracks where the stage is. Yeah. It's on the like other corner. It was at the back. So when you walk in to wrong side of the tracks, it's opposite you. Yeah. Right, rather than it being on the right. Yeah. Anyway, there's a good like 8,000-9,000 people there, and it was crazy. So got a couple of stories of that. I'd done my ankle in the day before. Why Dot had done his knee in because it was that slippy year, and Daisy had done her leg in. So we, instead of roughnecking, we were roughlegging because we were all hobbling up to the decks. It was mental. Anyway, my boy turns up about 10 minutes into the show, and you know, like, so the MCs are about 20 foot up, the DJ's another 10 foot above us. Yeah. So we can't even see Daisy what's going on. Yeah. And you've got the barriers at the front, about 6 foot in front, 20 foot down, and they go like, they're straight, and then they angle either side. Yeah. And my mates Carla, Dave and Ben turn up, and they're at where the angle meets, right? Anyway, I'm like, I see Ben, and I'm good like 40 foot away from him. And I see Ben open up, get a pack of fags out, pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, I look at him, and I go, yo. And I think he's going to bring one round. He launches one, right? And I reach out, and it lands perfectly the right way round. Y Dot stops halfway through his verse. About 40 people go, what? And I went, lighter? Yeah. And he went, woomph. And I caught the lighter, put the mic between my thing, lit it, threw it back, and he caught it, and we went. No way. It was one of the.
That wasn't on camera.
I have trawled Facebook for years, being like 2017 Robotica cigarette throw, like that. Hours and hours. It was one of those rock and roll moments because I just reached for it, and I was like, the wind, everything else, he could have thrown it, and it was unbelievable.
There's a video similar where
the guy catches the drink,
pint, drinks it,
and then drinks it, and then boom. Like, it was that moment, bro. And there was about 70 people looking around like, what's just happened? I'm there like, this is cool as hell. And my boy afterwards, he come and just jumped on me. He was like, and we used to spend hours just chucking hats on each other's heads after parties and stuff, chucking zoots into each other's mouths and all this kind of stuff. And he just jumps on me. He goes, all those hours chucking hats on each other, they weren't for nothing. And I was like, bro, it was one of those moments because I just put my hand out and it lands perfectly the right way round. And I'm like, what's going on? It was one of those moments, man. But yeah, I have trawled the internet to be like Boomtown, Robotica, cigarette catch, to be like, somebody must have got it.
Well, this is the day and age where everyone's filming now, but they weren't filming back then.
They weren't filming back then. People were in the moment, especially in Boomtown. I think COVID changed a lot of it, you know. COVID become the, you know, and I feel sorry for the kids now because there's a lot of raves I go to and they're almost Instagram ready because they're worried about, either they're worried or it's just the norm that they're about to be filmed or it's about to be caught on camera. They just don't relax as much. I love these raves that you go into and they go phones banned. Yeah. Have a moment. There's a reason there's a videographer there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the time I don't get the kiddies that are like I had a run of it. I have to say no now because you have to say yes to one. It just starts rolling in.
Well, they give you the phone.
They give you the phone, you start taking a video, and it's just like you do it for one.
Yeah.
Then you start doing it for another one. You have to do it for another one.
Have you seen the one where someone does that and they go, yeah, sure, and then 1 second they go backstage, have a piss, give it back?
Yeah, phenomenal.
It's like,
you're like, yeah, okay, that's levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, Boomtown was a big one. Obviously, doing Lions Gate last year with Ockham Limited was another big one in front of about 20,000 people. That was amazing. And then obviously all the stuff that we've done at Engine House. Engine Rooms? Engine House.
Engine Rooms.
Engine Rooms.
No. Engine.
Yeah, see?
Engine Room. Engine House?
Engine House. Engine House?
I think it's Engine House.
Yeah, but like all of those ones, and then, you know, the bring-ins of that, the being able to do the rehearsal stuff with you guys really then helped me out with... It started me on with the band, you know. Now all the bands got in-ear monitors. We all handle it in that way because of the professionality that you brought into it. And geez, life changed when those in-ears happened. I didn't realise how much I was struggling before.
In-ears.
Yeah, they change your life, man. Like Phantom does it now with AMC. He just uses in-ears constantly.
Yeah, it does. Syntax does it as well.
Changes your life, man, and it's just. All of that kind of stuff, all of those kind of things have helped me level up in what I do because singing's a whole different kettle of fish. Jesus, trying to find my voice with that was a challenge in itself. And now the confidence has come with that, and I put it in my drum and bass sets now. I chuck in a little bit of singing, and it's a lot of fun.
The thing with the in-ears and rap, I feel that because you're doing such a quick, rhythmical, like instrument. You need to get it on time. If you've got a monitor playing it and you're then hearing it, then you're saying it through the mic and then it's coming through back out the monitor.
Yeah.
There's that millisecond of delay that you're going to lose with, especially drum and bass at 174 plus BPMs.
Definitely on the plus side
You're doing these fast things, and I think in-ears. I don't know. I saw 4 Owls at a motion show. It sounded awful.
I've seen a couple of High Focus shows where Dirty Dyke did his Sucking on the Prawns in a Moonlight tour there, and Jan Baxter was on, and I couldn't hear him, and I was getting so pissed off. I ended up walking up to the sound techie, with his feet up, and I was like, "Turn the mic up, please."
Well, yeah,
and I just want to hear him, and then I ended up seeing Baxter the next time I booked him and Dabbler, and I was like, "Bro, I really enjoyed your motion show." After I told him to turn him up, he was like, "That was you." I was like, "Yeah, bro." He was like, "Yeah, I couldn't even hear it through the monitor." So I was like,
"This is the thing." I
mean, hip hop's so important to have the mic.
Absolutely,
it's about the
it was
mic.
Like it was like the 4 Owls are like our version of like opera. They're like the opera of the hip hop.
Yeah,
the standard is insane.
It's incredible.
And so you've got a whole audience of people who fully respect them, and he's like, "This is going to be amazing," and it just. I couldn't even hear the songs. I was like, I don't even know what song. I don't even know
what beat's playing right now.
Yeah, and I think maybe I don't know if it's like there's lots of factors of not having somebody who specialises in this coming with the knowledge and using the correct mics, saying to the guys, "Look, use in-ears, and then you can hear yourself."
And you can hear yourself.
And it won't be. And also, this is a massive debate of like how to hold the mic. As well.
Massively.
Because I know. From me doing comparing and hosting on my shows, the garage world would hold it like a golf ball.
Yeah,
but what you're doing there,
you're cutting certain decibels out, aren't you? You're cutting certain frequencies out. It gives you a lower tone. It gives you a lower tone. But like I always use the rule of thumb of like the reason there's that ring round the grill is you can't go past the ring. That's where I hold it if I have to. Like. It will only be when I really can't hear myself is when I'll cop it so I can get that cut through. But you know, I see a lot of rappers, and especially when they tilt it upwards as well. I'm like, bro, you're just doing yourself a disservice, like because you're losing all the range. You're losing all your range.
There's another podcast, Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yeah, Hip Hop Saved My Life.
And he's always like, live hip hop's rubbish. they always say it, and I'm like, you're kind of right.
Yeah, this is why you've got to get it right. This is why I only put hip hop on in places that I know the speaker system can handle it, and you can hear the mic. You know, because the mic's on. But that's why I put Dead Players and Dabbler and Jan Baxter on at the attic, because I know you're going to be able to hear it. You know, I wouldn't put it anywhere else. Because
the thing is, I think motion's very echoey as well.
Way too echoey for him. It was way too echoey. I know they wanted to step it up. Thekla was a perfect one for him. Thekla was a brilliant one when he did his Return of the Twat tour. Dirty Dyke, and he had the caravan on stage and stuff. Like it was, you could hear.
About it.
Yeah, you could hear it, and then brilliantly he brought all the guests out through the caravan door.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah,
he's one of those ones. He's special. He's a
I'm
special
gonna go,
character.
He's playing again. He's coming up. He's got another show.
He's got another show at Thekla.
Do you know where it is?
Oh no, he's doing his melon skin thing at the attic.
No, yeah, it's a not Silver Bullet. That's a club in London. Strange Brew.
Oh, he's doing Strange Brew.
Yeah.
Nice. He's which will be good because that's catered to bands, which means that's catered to real sound.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between rave sound and band sounds. There's a different sound. You need, rave sound. You just need a big rig. You do just need a big rig. As long as you got the low end, you're cool. Like the MCs are almost like they are secondary. They always have been. But it's nicer when you hear them. That's why I always go to Soundtech if they've got control over the EQ. I always ask them to push the 2.5K because my voice just cuts through.
Yes.
Some of them though, man. I did it in London. I was like, "Can you push the 2.5K?" It's already pushed. I was like, "Can I have a look?" And it wasn't. It was lower. I was like, "I know it is because I can't hear myself."
Yeah.
Like it's just, sound techies are the best and some of the difficult people in the business but you have to be as lovely as you can to them. I'm always lovely to sound technicians and bouncers. I want to make you sound
really?
good. Yeah.
I hate bouncers.
Yeah, but I love them because they have to keep you safe. So if you get them on your side, even if they're arseholes, get them on your side. One keeps you safe, one makes you sound good. Done. Like, I'm always as nice as I can. Every time I'm on a set, I'm like, big up the bar staff, big up the bouncers. And
big up the bar staff every time.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But like, because they have, some of them have got a tough job. Bouncers are arseholes because they've also had to deal with arseholes.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it's a tough one. It's like, I wouldn't do. Yeah, I know. But don't get me wrong. There are some arsehole bouncers out there.
Yeah.
Like when they're saying this is shit, I'm like, I didn't book these acts for you, brethren. I booked these because I know I like this music. I'm sorry you don't. But this is your job. It's a different map. Put some earplugs in.
Yeah, if you're getting paid the most
right now, I'm paying you.
Yeah, I had the one moment that this bouncer really pissed me off. I was running my own festival, and this bouncer, we had a tree house, and I had A skills on, and we were up in the tree house. The bouncer came up the steps into the tree house and said something like, "Can you ask him to play Drake?"
No way.
I was like, there is so many reasons right now that I am fuming.
Yeah.
1, you shouldn't be up here.
Nope.
2, I'm paying you a lot of money. 3, that's A skills. And 4, no, I'm not going to ask him to play Drake.
Drake remixes, mate.
Absolutely fuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, no, you're getting paid more than me right now. and there was a storm about to come in, and we still carried on. And then I thought about posting how amazing it was the next day, and was like, "Yeah, DJ did a treehouse through a storm. Maybe I shouldn't."
Yeah.
That's with all these like massive metal beams attached to it.
Oh wow, you were just basically a conductor.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was great. Big up the Under the Hill.
Yeah, man. So yeah, there's a few of the accolades. I just play out every weekend pretty much.
And the one thing that somebody asked me recently was, how do you know Trafic? And I thought,
how do you know?
And this is interesting because you said Little Farmer, so maybe it was Little Farmer gig that I met you.
But also it might be the Tremor. It might be the Tremor sound system stuff.
Oh,
that might be it. It might be Tremor because I was doing a lot of stuff with Bear Twists and Funk Junkies and that kind of side of things. And obviously Rambling came out. It might be that because then obviously we did. Oh my god, I've forgotten our tune.
Rambling.
No,
Played Out.
Played Out. Thank you.
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. But then we did that.
It was a long time ago. It was COVID times, and we filmed the music video for that in
Basement 45.
Basement 45 during COVID times.
Yeah.
Got 2 dancers as well. That was cool.
That was great fun actually. Having to put a suit on and stuff. That
Big
was
up
quite
Ali
fun.
on the filming of that.
But so yeah, that might have been it. Yeah, I've never really thought about how.
Yeah, that's it.
You definitely reached out to me. You were just like, "Yo, let's do something."
Yeah.
I swear that was how it was. And then I come up and started. I did Played Out with you live.
Yeah.
And was it live, or you asked me? You were just like, "Come up and do a verse on something," or was it Played Out first?
Played Out first.
It was Played Out first, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then it just grew. The interesting thing about that was we were backstage and the brass players because of the nature of the song, it doesn't have any brass. And they were like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Just play the bass line."
Yeah.
And then they were backstage just trying to work it out. And they were like,
because I'd never even met the band.
Yeah,
and there's no intro. There's no intro. It just goes ding, ding,
yeah,
bop.
that's it.
And I'm like, okay, we nailed it.
Yeah,
like,
you did. And I was like hyper aware of that fact. I was like, if it doesn't come in, the whole thing's gone wrong.
We're screwed.
Yeah, and there's cameras on you, and you're looking
at the drums. I'm looking at the drums. I'm like, we've done it number 4 time and time again. I was like, cool, I've got it. Right, I'm in.
It was really good. And
I love those on the fly moments though, man. That's what makes magic.
Yes.
That's what makes magic. Because as long as you've done your thing, I'm like, I know the bars. I've done them plenty of times over the tune.
Yeah.
All right, live band stuff. Let's go. Like, yeah, fun.
And how's the Bad Traffic stuff going?
Bad Traffic stuff is going really well. We've got the album's being mixed and mastered. Should be out either in July or August. We've got 9 dates in April and May. 4 of those dates we're supporting the Show Hawk duo.
Oh yeah, I was going to say,
which is cool. So we've got Nottingham, Southampton, Exeter, Birmingham, 2 shows in Ilfracombe, Tewkesbury, Bristol,
nice.
And Lower Load Festival in Forthampton, which we're headlining, which is cool. So like that's between April and May, and it's just the thing I've noticed with the band stuff is very like seasonal. So like it's good to get like a load of dates for your spring thing, then leave it for a couple of months, then come back. Whereas like obviously drum and bass is quite consistent, but it also helps me out because drum and bass hasn't been as consistent in the last few years. Solely down to the industry, solely down to sort of the way that the scene is at the moment. It's very like there is a commercial side to it, which isn't a bad. It has pros and cons.
Yes.
But it also means if you're not in that bracket, you don't get those, so I tick over, but it means if I didn't have the band stuff, my April and May would be very quiet. I'd probably have like 3 or 4 shows, whereas like now I've got a show every weekend until June, so I keep myself busy through Fingers in Pies, and it's a really enjoyable thing. We've worked, we had band rehearsal on Sunday and we worked out a brand new tune, and it's a really nice process to do. The only difficulty for me now is I've got so many bars I have to remember. There's so many that are like, I've now got to a point where I've written down in a notes section in my phone all of the first lines of my drum and bass bars that I know off by heart, just so that I can have a little look before a show and go, cool, refresh. Whereas like, I've got 20 tracks with the band, I've got over 25 like Trafic MC solo tracks, and then I think I've got about 55 different verses I can use on drum and bass, and they're all here. So it's like, that's the bit where I have to go, right now I'm in band mode.
Yes.
So a lot of the time I'll have a quick listen through just to refresh. I mean, a lot of them now I've got, but like the newer tunes we've just written, it's like, right, just refresh yourself on those bits because we've gone a bit more intricate, we've gone a bit more, just progressing and leveling up and all that. But that is a part of me where I'm like, the file of facts is getting full in my head,
No, it's crazy. I think a lot of people have respect and admiration for MCs and singers to remember these lyrics. And
it is very lucky because it's something I don't have to work at as much as I'd say other fellow MCs I know. It's something that's naturally been in me since I was about 10, 11 when I first discovered rap and hip hop. I can still recite stuff. If I listen to the first bit of it, I can still recite stuff that I listened to when I was 12, 13 because I've just got an obsession with lyrics and how they unfold and how they link up to the next thing. So a lot of the time I have to write my lyrics down in a notepad because I remember the shape of the words, and like, so if I write stuff down on a phone or on a computer, it doesn't stay in my brain. I can remember the size of the words and the way the W flicks up, and I'm like, I can see it on the page. So it's like, that's my memory thing. Whereas like people like Y Dot, he has to have, I nicked that little like first line thing. He has a screensaver on his phone for when he goes up and does gigs, so he can just remind himself of each set, because he's dyslexic and stuff. The memory side of things isn't as good. And then I have other rappers that are more freestylers. They'll have a bar written, they'll get 4 bars into it, forget it, and just start freestyling. So it's like, it's something I'm very, very grateful for, that I can usually, if I wrote a bar right now at 16, I'd have to practice it a few times. If I slept on it, by tomorrow I've got it. It's one of those ones.
And write it down.
Yeah.
And when you said you first listened to hip hop, when you were 10, did you say?
I was 10, 11 years old. My mum's goddaughter, who's like 5, 6 years older than me, gave me Eminem Show when I was 11 years old.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're the perfect audience for him. Of
course.
It's literally like the lyrics are.
The lyrics are so debaucherous and so out there, like and I just fell in love with the whole thing of it. And And my mum's been amazing, because I remember going to like basketball training when I'm 12 and we're listening to fucking Drips and stuff, and and Drips is all about catching an STD from a hooker, and she's just there with me, like just bopping along.
Oh really?
Yeah. She didn't give a fuck. She just was like, this is really cool. Like, do you know what I mean? And she and
then your mum.
Oh, my mum supported the fuck out of it. Like just rap in general, because she loves words. She loves words. She gives me like a word a month. And it's just like, try and put that in a bar. Like, she's really, really supportive of it. And she'll be a lot of, like, when I first started writing and started doing stuff, she was like, she wasn't convinced I was writing it. She was like,
oh, wow.
Really? Because she was just like, really? You've come? I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But in more like surprise, the fact that I've just taken to it. And now I'll send her stuff and be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Because she reads like constantly. She'll smash through like a couple of books in a week and stuff. So it's like, she's very educated.
So
lady.
she heard Eminem and she could respect the artistry and
massively.
the lyricism.
The lyricism and everything behind. She took me to see Eminem at Leeds when he was here.
What, with the chainsaw and the
Oh no, this was later on. So it was like 2017 when he come back.
The reason that's interesting is because there was a massive campaign with basically mums being like, Eminem is disgraceful. He can't be coming here.
She loved it because she just saw how excited I was about it. And then I started listening to 50 Cent, and then G Unit, and then D12, and like, just some of the bars. And like, it's funny now. I listen back to it this age, and I realise there's like the whole bar that Eminem is like, hi kids, do you like violence?
Yeah.
Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails to each one of my eyelids? Do you want to copy me and do exactly like I did? Try Sid and get fucked up worse than my life is. So I didn't know what Sid was back then. But I know it's acids.
Acid.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what it was.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. There's so much.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
and then,
so much.
But my mum's just giggling to it because I'm just rapping along to it. So she knew. Like,
why no worse than what's going on in your parents' bedroom.
Yeah. All of that. So she, it was just, and like a 50 Cent bar where it's just like, what does he say? He says, I'm just that M-word, just that M-word trying to get some head, right? And I'd just be rapping along with it. I remember about 13 and rapping along with it. My mum just starts giggling. I don't know what that is.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but she just accepted it, man. She used to listen to, like, my first album I got given when I was 9 was a Johnny Lang album, it's blues. And then Jimi Hendrix she gave me. And it's like, obviously the blues is it's on the darker side of life anyway. So I think she, the hip hop and everything else, it's shock value and stuff like that. So I think she just really enjoyed that side of things. And my mum's a very elegant sort of looking lady. She's like, 6 foot, looks like Princess Di. Do you know what I mean? She's one of those looking, and the best memory I've got is her like 2 fingers in the air listening to Eminem. He's got everybody to put middle fingers up, and I just look round and she's going, I'm the Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady.
Is this at the gig?
This is at that Leeds festival. Like, it was amazing, bro. Like,
oh, so is it Leeds festival?
Yeah, it was Leeds. Yeah, he played in 2016 or 17, and it was amazing. She just rang me. She went, what are you doing on this date? In like the 12th of August or something. I was like, nothing. Why? She's like, I've just bought you, me and your sister tickets to Eminem. I'm like, oh, amazing. And we went along, and he did everything I wanted him to as well. He did everything. He did every single track I wanted him to.
Yeah.
It was just before that Revival album came out, so like his Revival tour was like all the stuff like the Ed Sheeran tune and everything else. But it was so nice. He just did everything. He come out, and the beautiful thing was when Trump was in power back then, he changed all of the Bush references to Trump. So he went off while Royster 5'9" did a tune, and he come back on with a white tank top saying "fuck Trump." It was amazing. But yeah, he changed all of the Bush references, and it was
like, is it called Mosh? The song's Mosh.
Yeah, Mosh, and then he's got like ones off the Eminem show where he's like White America.
Yeah,
and stuff, which is all about the Bush thing, but he changed everything to Trump. It was just, but yeah, he come out to business as well. Let's welcome to the stage, Marshall. It was phenomenal, man. But
so did he have a band? Or
yeah, he had a band, and he had Alchemist on the decks, and he was celebrating 10 years sober then as well.
Wow.
Because he was obviously inflicted with the old difficulties of Valium, and
is it Valium? So
because he was Viking. Yeah, it was Valium because his mum was on it, and he used to just go and nick it from his mum when he was younger. From what I can hear from the tunes and all the interviews I've watched him in and stuff like that, and then he got hooked on it, and it's just obviously then he was massively into his drugs when he was younger, and then just in and out of rehabs and
so
stuff.
you're basically the British version of Eminem.
I mean, I'd like to take that accolade.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to meet him just to talk about rap. Like, I've always, because I do, this is not an arrogant thing. I set myself challenges within the craft of it. Not even to like not even to make a tune and get it out there. I will sit and write stuff where I'll be like, right, I have to use every single start of every single bar has to have this word. Now make something from it. Or I'll go on to like the top 50 hits of Elvis and I'll try and use as many track titles in a 16 bar. And like paint by numbers kind of style, and then I'll be like, right, okay, I've got to use this word as many times as I can in this 8 bar or this 16 bar, and it's because I'm just fascinated by how, especially the way like you can split things up. So like the word assumption, right? If you split that up, that's assumption. So if you're too scared to solve an equation, it's assumption because you're shunning the sum of what you've just made.
Yeah.
But if you're making an assumption of something. So it's trying to find like words within words and mess around with, like, I just adore doing all of that. I'll see things as well, like, I saw on a bus the other day, I say the other day, it was a few years ago, and it said, in life do strange things with weird people, and my head just went off on one. And I was like, in life do strange things with weird people, I'm now deranged with an impediment that's unspeakable. Catch me on a Sunday reenacting a creature called kids, this moment definitely isn't teachable. Like, but it's just things, I'll see things and I'll be like, I've got to take that and try and mess around with it. There's one guy called
where was that written?
That was just on the side of a bus. It was just on
So was it an advert?
Yeah, it was an advert for something. In life do strange things with weird people, and I was like, okay, I'm running with that.
Yeah.
And there's another guy from Oxford who does. I love when people take phrases, like well-known phrases, and they flip them and do something that I'm like, how did I not think of that? And like the simplest ones are the best. Like he come out with, I've paid my dues, so now I'm due my pay. I was like, yeah, brilliant, like so good. Like I just, and it genuinely gives me like a bodily like, and it's the only thing that consistently in my life has given me the same feeling every time. It's harder to find now because it's not as new anymore. But when I find a new rapper or a new guy that comes out with something, it is exactly like I go back to being 11 years old again, going, what's that? Like, and my body gets these tingles, and I'm like, and it's one of the most consistent feelings I've had in my life, where I'm not chasing it, it will just happen. I'll be like, that's brilliant. Jaffro did a bar, it's like, you're bananas if you think I'm letting it slide. Like, it's stuff like, and I'm like, oh wow, like so simple. Like, try take my shine, you'll be polished off. Like stuff like that. I'm like, oh, go on. It gives me that like that rush to do something. And when I hear a new rapper, I'm like, oh god, I've got to get writing. I've got to get something.
So which new rappers at the moment are you
Prof, I really enjoy. He's a new rapper to me. He's not a new rapper, but he's a rapper from America. I enjoy Prof so much. Jaffro is another consistent rapper that's just been so good at what he does. Sonny Jim I adore as well. Sonny Jim, he's been on the scene for a long time.
I remember you told me about him.
He's really cool, man. Like he does these. He just does. His bars are amazing. It's like, can you smell what the rock's cooking? That's that rock cooking. Like, it's you'll get your set cut short. My man sell crack, but he never ate no pork. It's like, so he's talking about how, like, in that one phrase, he's like, how the Muslim community is still out there hustling. Like,
oh, I see.
Yeah. It's really like he has an ability to do. When you can say the least amount of words but say the most, the biggest thing, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because I think I'm similar in the sense of like what you're talking about now. I never used to really care about. I was more about the production. But then when I started working with Fraser Churchill on the first album, he told me all these kind of little gems of like, you say A, you feel A, so you say B, and then what was it? You're saying,
go on.
You want to say A, so you say B, but you say it through C, or something like that.
So
or it's like
the example I've got, my mate gave me, is like, if the subject matter is the copper wire, you talk about the rubber casing.
Yeah.
In that sense of like, you talk about everything around it, and which will then form the picture for it, rather than talking directly on the nose. Jam Baxter's another one. He's phenomenal. I call him like the Salvador Dali of rap, because he imprints this image, this psychedelic, abstract image in your head, but also has beautiful things. Like, rap is something that I hear a bar, and I live by it then. I know it sounds really silly, but I'll hear something and it will change something in me. So it's like, there's a tune with 4 hours that Baxter's done, and it's called Life in the Balance. And he goes, and the rest of the whole, and even the whole tune's in balance. So it goes, Leaf Dog, BVA, Verb T, Flip Tricks, Jam Baxter. Verb T does a 4-bar hook before his verse, and a 4-bar hook after his verse. So if you split the tune down the middle, it's perfectly in balance.
Nice.
But a lot of them, they're talking about how if there's no light, there's no dark. If there's no Hitler, there's no Mother Teresa. If there's no, Baxter goes on a whole other level where he goes like, there's a bar where he goes, the mechanical contraptions that were fashioned out of passion that can turn the earth back to a burnt black chasm, shit happens. So he's talking about how like gunpowder wasn't invented for guns. These people weren't creating weapons, they were creating something else, and then it got changed.
It was a byproduct.
Yeah, it's a byproduct of it.
Of what?
And of just the thirst for creation and the thirst for making something.
Oh,
so
I see.
it's the balance of it, the fact that somebody didn't actually create this for this matter. And another bar he's got in that verse, one of my favourite verses, and he goes like, the change is instinctual, the pace is unthinkable, and never put your faith in a fake individual, it's balance. And it's just the way he poignantly put it there, and it's so simple, but it's just like, don't, seeing for the real people for who they are. But he starts off with this whole thing about, the evolutionary state of like the fish coming out from the water to then be like man sat on like an iceberg and all sorts of stuff. It's just, his way of thinking is phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't want to be in his brain for more than half an hour.
I know, I was saying, yeah.
Because he's just a celebrate, like, he's one of those ones now where I see him, I think he's cleaned up a lot now, but when he was in his like hedonistic era, it was almost like we just celebrate his work, because he was a lost human being, I think, for a long time. Like, he was just...
Is this Jam Baxter?
Yeah, he was. You could see it on stage. He was troubled, man. Like, just too many drugs and too much, seen too much, thought too much.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. There's a kind of, I don't know. Don't want to say it's like a stoner mentality, because that's just going to then pigeonhole it. But it's a very much thinking about thinking and going really deep into thought. There's sometimes rappers can utilize it and go, right, I'm going to create this
overthinking is a condition I've been blessed with. I just weaponize it, like, rather than it being like, I'm like, cool, how can I keep going into this and go into this and go into this? Sometimes I go down too much of a rabbit hole and it's too difficult to even make sense of it. Like, I've written bars where I've read them back the next day and I've been like, oh, bro.
Yeah.
I think you went a little bit too deep on this. Because
yeah.
I get it. Nobody else is going to get this.
It's kind of
because I was having a thought at that time that related to this thought, that then jumped from A to... I went from A to Q really quickly.
Yes.
Like, I didn't give them B through R. Do you know what I mean? I didn't let them know the journey, but my head went, that makes logical sense. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's profound, man. I love, and I think that's the main part of my music thing in general. I adore, and I won't ever compromise it as well. Like, there's certain things I won't rap about, like there's a big thing in drum and bass of being quite misogynistic.
Is there?
There's a few of the jump up lot.
Oh, the jump
that do very like, that go down that route.
Strangle the bitch with the telephone wire.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
I thought that lyric was pretty mental, and then I see videos of the crowd shouted it.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa. You're like, fuck's sake.
Really?
It just, for me, I'm just like, fine, if that's what you do, that's fine. But then the thing is, I'm also sort of contradicting myself, because Eminem also went down that route. It's a tough like line to, for me, it's like, be obnoxious, be entertaining with it. That's another thing as well. Like, Eminem was so good at being provocative, because one, he'd take the piss out of himself. Two, he would do it so cleverly, like the scheme would keep going.
But the other thing is, he's like, what I talk in a record, I'm not actually going to go and
do. He's not going to do, because it's a character he's invented. That's why he had Eminem and Slim Shady. Slim Shady's the darker side of it. I've got Donny Magic as well as Johnny Traffic. Like, Donny Magic comes out and shit's going to get Johnny Magic, mate. Yeah, because Donny Magic's on one. Everybody move. Everybody move. It's gonna get really fucked up for a minute. Because it's fun to push yourself. I've done it before. I've tried to write the most debaucherous shit I can just to see where I could go. I'm not going to use it, but some of the stuff I've like picked out and been like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, My tactic is to choke you with a tic-tac. Mouth open as you kick back. Eyes close into a relapse. Heimlich won't help your tic-tac relapse. Won't be. Yeah, all of that shit. I was just like trying to have fun with it and just fuck about. Like, but like, you know, because that's the point. It's about going right up to the line, looking over it and going, okay, you know, and just staring at it for a minute and seeing. You don't know where the limit is until you've pushed it. You know.
You'd sit down with Eminem.
I would talk to him about how he's come up with this, how he's come up with that, where did that inspiration bit come from, how much Sing for the Moment changed my life. Like, it changed my life, that tune, because that tune was the first tune, because all I'd ever heard before was stuff that was so far removed from me. Sing for the Moment is about, it felt like he was talking about my life. Wow. And it felt like, and I know it's silly to say, it felt like he'd met me and knew what was going on in my life. I grew up in a house where, like, my mum was quite liberal, but my dad, he's loosened right up now. He's in his old age and he's a grandpa, so he's chilled. But he was very much like, you know, he kept things so hidden. Like, I didn't know his age until I was like late teens.
What?
Yeah. Because
he
was too. There's a big age gap between my parents, and he didn't want to be seen as weak or old, so he just didn't tell us his age. You know, he was very distant growing up, and like I wasn't allowed speakers in my room. You know, so when that whole thing of like these ideas and nightmares of white and like I got told, you know, there's no swearing in the house and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have a tattoo or piercing, when you're still financially dependent on us, like, you know, you decide all this kind of stuff, real strict like mentality stuff. I get it. It's like they were doing their best. You know, I was misinformed by misinformed people, and but there, these ideas of nightmares of white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings. Like, what if they say has no bearing? It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing. You see him walking around with his headphones blaring, alone in his own zone, a problem child, because what bothers him all comes out. So he talks about when his fucking dad walking out, he hates him so bad that he blocks him out. If he ever saw him again, he fucking knock him out. His thoughts are whack. He's mad, so he's talking back, talking black, brainwashed from rock and rap. Like, it was
that
just...
literally,
it
like,
was just
so similar to Eminem.
Yeah, because I know it. Like, it was, wow. But that tune changed my life because I was like, oh my god, there's some. I felt seen.
That's interesting.
I just felt seen and heard because I used to have headphones in and I was angry because I didn't have. I was an angry teen.
It's also you talking about someone else, the third person. Like, talking about that person, and that's what Eminem, I think, did a lot. Like with in the moment, he's weak, arms are heavy.
Yeah. Lose yourself.
Lose yourself.
And that is one of the most. So I've
God.
seen pages written on. I've seen like theses and stuff written on it. It's one of the most technically beautiful pieces of writing because I think it's like 90% of it rhymes with itself. Like when you do like the syllables and it daisy chains onto itself. And then Plan B was a huge influence. The reason I started writing was Who Needs Actions When You Got Words. I heard that album, and I then in that moment I wrote. After I heard that album, I wrote my first tune, and I wrote it about my sister, and it was called Split Personality, and it was about being Geminis and everything else, but she struggled a lot with depression and self-harm and stuff growing up. And I, for the first time ever, realised I could rap and write music, but it didn't have to be about me. I could write about a person or a situation, and that's what Who Needs Actions When You Got Words gave me, that whole album, because all he did was write about scenarios. All he did was write about these characters that, you know...
Shemaine De La Rosa.
Yeah, Shemaine. What's her name? Shemaine De La Rosa. I say, is that Spanish? She says, yeah. I say, kosher. Whole time, imagine what it'd be like to dosa. Like, train pulls up and we get on it together. Tracing through the journey, get to know each other better.
He is
a genius.
He's unbelievable. And I gate crashed a celebrity party.
No.
Yeah, pre-bit party at Labyrinth's restaurant under my studio in Wood Green. Celebrities everywhere.
Wow.
I spoke to all the people I wanted to speak to. Plan B was there, couldn't speak to him.
Nice.
Totally starstruck.
So starstruck.
I was like,
because he's phenomenal. Like his, so he always
absolutely...
wanted to be a soul singer. He used rap to get into soul singing. And,
yes, I heard that.
And then his I can't remember the movie he did.
Ill Manners.
Ill Manners. The fact that he directed and shot all of it and he wrote the whole album to go around it, and then there's that one moment he's in it when you just see his eyes in the rearview mirror. He's the taxi driver at the end. That's the only time he's in it. But to write and shoot and to do some gritty things and talk about what's really going on. He was phenomenal, and that album changed my life as well, because then I took everything I'd learned from the G-Unit gangster rap Eminem stuff, and then applied it to like the next tune I wrote was called No Other Option when I was like 16, and it was all about me, the idea of me ironically turning into a bit of a drug addict and losing all hope, and ended up and like going down the darker route of being like I can't go on kind of thing. And I created this character of like, and I hoped it would be like, I'll write this so I don't turn into it. And it was like, it was amazing to be able to just write for the sake of it, because my life was, yes, I had my own personal difficulties, as we all do, but it wasn't exactly eventful. Growing up in like a tiny little village outside of Birmingham was like, you know, it was very uneventful and great, because that's what you need as a kid growing up. But at the same time, when you've got this, like, when you're missing something, you've got like a spiritual, I now know it's a spiritual void. I had something I needed to cling on to. It was nice to be able to write from somebody else's point of view and get the anger out that I had. I used it as a therapeutic thing. Like, I felt like the moment I'd written that Split Personality tune, I understood my sister better. Like, it was, you
wrote about your sister?
Yeah, I felt like I understood her better and was able to it was the first time I was able to experience what empathy was, because I was putting myself in somebody else's shoes. I had a very one-track mind when I was growing up, because you do as a teenager, don't you? When you're growing up, you're stuck in your own shit, lots of changes are going on, all that kind of stuff. But it was the first time ever I felt like I actually could put myself in somebody else's shoes. You know, it was a therapeutic thing. I used to use it for, you know, when I'm feeling angry about something, I used to write how much I hated this person or something like that, you know, and used to try and get it out in that way. So then when I first started rhyming drum and bass, I didn't really know how to write happy. I didn't really know how to write vibes.
I see.
I had to teach myself how to be like, oh, okay, now I need to write about something that's, because I just used it for all of the angst and all of
But I think that's what's good about you, and which is kind of weird almost, and in the drum bass scene, is that you're there, it's drum bass is fascinating. It's dark music, it's fast, it's heavy, it's loud, it's bassy, and then you got some angry MC.
Yes.
It's kind of like, okay, cool, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But then when you've got someone like you or Carousel that's like a bit more uplifting, it's like, oh, actually, this can be good.
Yeah,
like it can have the yin and the yang.
It doesn't have to be dark. Like, we can play dark music, but we can have a fun. We can have a smile on your face while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, because there's something also very cathartic about being in a dark room with a bunch of people listening to very fucking bass heavy music. There's something beautiful about it, because you do come out feeling cleansed, especially when it's a nice rave. You know, like, and that's why I do adore Liquid side of things. I do adore like the more minimal roller side of things, because it's that thing of, like, you know, there is very much tribal-esque side of it. Liquid is just beautiful. I do miss the Spearhead nights. I do miss the Intrigue nights at dojos, like, because there was a beauty to it where you come out and you just felt I always had fuzzy and warmness to it, because there was beautiful, stunning music, you know. But yeah, no, that rap for me, it's just a be all and end all. It's not like I don't have to force myself to do it. It's just something that I will, like, be stood at the side waiting for a bus and something will come along and then my head will just go to it. I have to really train myself. When somebody says a new word in a conversation, I'm like, just get back to the conversation, because my head's running. It's running away going, what can I rhyme that with? What can I do that with? Oh, what does that word mean? Is that
potentially ADHD?
Maybe. I mean, a lot of people have diagnosed it when they've started chatting to me, and maybe that's you know, but it's also a thing of
good output.
Yeah, way good output to do it, because I think, you know, there's way worse things to be obsessed over. I love the way people form stuff, you know, and I think a big part of it as well is like there's a difference between writing and rapping as well. Like, you know, that's something I've learned. Like, I wrote before I even started rapping. I wrote for a good 2-3 years, because I never used to show anybody. I used to maybe do it 4 chords on a guitar, sit in my room. But like, it was learning how to rap was a whole different thing. When I started doing it with a drum and bass, it was like, oh, my tone was so, I had all the rhythm, I had all of the lyrics, I could hit a double time really well, because I speak quickly anyway, so it was quite nice to be able to be like, oh, I can put that on. My voice, there was no punch in it. I'm in the ship, ASAP, don't give a fuck, be a Liverpool, I'm a Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? It was really like,
it was every rapper's first bar.
It was so, and then you start learning, like, no, give this a bit more, give that a bit more, and you start getting to know how, you know, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, you know, because like Charlie Tune is a prime example of that. You listen to his bars, technically they're not the best things in the world. They're quite like middle of the road. The way he says them It's the Vubble Hubble Monster,
Yeah.
Vubbin Hanser. Like, you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
God,
yeah,
do it
yeah.
again, do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Killer P's another example, but he's also got amazing bars. Flowdown's another one.
Oh,
like,
mate,
if anybody,
Killer P.
P's phenomenal, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, jumped on set
I've
with him
got-
about 2 weeks ago. It was great fun.
What?
Yeah, so I was at Mike Masters and Ragged Twins were late, and I walked up to the promoter and was like, "Who's on with Killer?" It's like Ragged Twins. It's like, "Where are they?" It's like half hour later. I was like, "What are we saying?" He's like, "Do you want to?" It's like, "Yeah." And he walked up to Killer and was like, "Yo, Ragged Twins are late. Do you want Trafic to come and jump on with you?" And Killer's like, "Come on then, get in here." And he stopped the music. He went, "This is the nicest guy in the music scene." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Killer." Like, that was really sweet of him.
Is it me or has he just done a tune with Fred again?
No, I think that was.
I made that up in my head.
No.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Ontaloop.
Yeah,
He's with Ontaloop.
yeah.
I heard that. I was like, oh.
Killer's busy, man.
Oh.
Killer's a busy man.
Yes.
I've just got on my next album. I've got him and J-Man on a tune. So
Where?
me,
So wait, it's you, J-Man,
me,
Killer P.
J-Man, and Killer P.
When? What? How?
So that's gonna be coming out next year. I'm working on this second solo album, and I've got a load of features on there. I've got a guy called Sublingual, a guy called Roof Row. Illiman's hopefully gonna jump on one. Savvy B's gonna jump on one. I'm gonna try and probe Dabbler or Jam Baxter for a tune. But I'm gonna get, because the first album, Average Being, was very it's just all me. I've got one feature on there. So this one's I'm gonna get a lot more features, and I've got this tune called Protect the Craft, which is Killer P and J-Man are gonna be on it, and it's very dub heavy. And it's
And who's produced it?
my boy Leslie from Headroom.
Okay.
It's really, really dub heavy and really like it's I can't wait to hear what J-Man and Killer P have got on it. But that's going to be a nice link up, the three of us.
So, you said earlier you were sitting in your room back in the day playing guitar. Do you play guitar?
Yeah, I can still play guitar.
And is it how's the mouth organ?
The mouth organ is like I did my course, and I just need to pick it back up. Basically, it's just a case of like I've got all the bits there. It's finding the time to fit it in and jam with somebody. I want to be able. The thing about harmonica is you need to jam with people for it to become like loosey goosey and for it to do it. I can play certain tunes and all that. I can go I can do all that, and I can do the down. Like I can do all of that now, like the blues scale and everything. But it's a lot about I want to just sit down with a guitarist and be like, right, play something in C, and I'll just have a little wangle along with it, because also it's hard to be like. I need to find really like YouTube videos, and because you have to find the right key, because whatever. So if I've got a C harp, C D E F G, it's G blues.
Yeah.
So it's finding out like, it's always 5 up.
You got to get. Do you wait? So if you want to.
If you want to play in G,
you have to get.
Oh, I've got a set of 10.
24.
I've got a set of 10, so I've got A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G.
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
So I play harmonica. Right, we're going to bring Rachel. There's a box.
Yeah, no. There's a band that plays down the Stillage, and they're like the Blues Direct or something they're called. And the geezer turns up, and he's got a suitcase, and he's got about 25 different harmonicas in there.
25.
Yeah, because he's got diatonic ones and all this kind of stuff. Like you got ones with different like. Yeah, it's amazing because they all got different tones and all this kind of stuff. There's a guy called, so I really like blues as well. So like Junior Wells is somebody I love. He was the first guy in the early 70s to amplify harmonica. He was the first one who starts putting it through.
Did he put the thing
He puts like a mic over the top of it,
yeah.
and then he puts it through distortion and stuff, and it's very cool. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's something I do need to pick up, but it's just trying to filter it in with everything else that's going on,
Because your band's quite minimal at the moment, isn't it? It's just drums, bass.
It's drums, bass, guitar, and me. And for the four of us, we do create a big sound. Because the guitarist is second to none. He's amazing. Like the fact that he can create what I've done with rap, he's done with guitar. Whereas like I've studied as much as I can every single type of rap, all this kind of shit. He's done it with guitar. He's like he can play every single style you want him to. We have this game where I'll just yell out adverts at him and he'll start playing them. I'll be like, and like kids TV programs, like, do Hey Arnold, and he's like, yeah. He's one of these. So 1 sec, how's it going? I'm like, he's like, and like it's great, man.
But that's also so what jazz song. Anyways, what do you know? What guitar it is that he has?
Fender.
The Fender.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if he has more of a bluesy guitar. Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Between
There's a difference.
and a Fender.
There's like, he has told me.
because I
But
feel
there are bluesy guitars out there. There's also blues amps as well. That's the other thing as well. Like he's got a Fender. He's got a he's got some Marshall. He's got one which has got like the film, the elements in the back of the amp that create that have something to do with the sound
bulbs.
and the bulbs.
Yeah. So because I don't know too much about guitars and amps and stuff, but I'm learning. And then Fede was like, man, like my guitar, I always do the Fede voice. My guitar is like shit, man. It's like £100. Like it's nothing. So I'm gonna invest. And he's now got this beautiful guitar.
Oh, lovely.
And he brings it out and he played it, and I was like, oh,
there's the sound difference. Yeah,
day.
It's amazing how much it makes a difference, man. Like guitars are built beautifully.
I think you're right.
Am I over there?
Yes,
I am. Right. Okay.
We are now here, and this is going to perfectly conclude.
Thanks for having me.
For the last, I think we might have 10 minutes, depends on when Hillary is, and we're going to pick her up, and we're going to carry on. I will do a podcast with Hillary as well at some point, but we are on our way. It's a random horse there, and we're going to, we go on our way to the tour. We're going to be doing some more shows with Trafic. We're doing one in Bristol that is pretty much sold out.
Yeah, nice.
Basically, Trafic comes along and the shows get sold out.
I mean, I'll take that. That's a nice accolade to have.
And thanks for hearing all your learning a bit more about who you are and where you've come from.
It's nice to talk about rap, bro. I love it. So it's been nice.
Maybe you never know. Maybe Eminem will hear this.
Fingers crossed, bro.
And get an interview with you.
I do think about it daily. I'm like, I would just want to meet him. I don't even want to feature from him. Do you know what I mean? That would be amazing. I just want to meet him.
There's one video of a guy in the UK, and it's him performing at some random festival, and he jumps over the
I've seen that, yeah.
And then he says something like, "No, it doesn't matter how famous you are," or something. Eminem saw that video and commented. So he did another video about Eminem commenting.
Wow.
So the internet exists, so you never know.
Could be a possibility.
Yeah. Big up Trafic.
My guy.